Hi there, I'm here with April and Enda Bliss at Bliss Circus in southern Goa, and we're here today to talk to you about the Bliss stage.
Creating a circus space in the jungle has been very interesting, to say the least. When I first arrived in South Goa, people were rigging from trees and wires and all sorts of crazy stuff. So my first job was to create a safe space, and that involved creating an aerial structure. We built our stage 5 years ago. It was the year after we built the rig, and we started with plywood, and it was good at first. It was really good. It was very beautiful. It had a nice wooden sheen to it. And then the next season, after one whole season in the monsoon, because here it rains a lot, during 3-4 months every single year it rains nonstop, and the stage was very large, so we were able to pack it in a way that it was still usable the next season, but it had a lot of damage. So that was the first season that we started painting it. So year by year we were adding coats of paint and various materials to help reinforce the stage as it started to degrade more and more with the weather, with the monsoon, with the rain. Eventually, it got to the point where it was not really usable. At the end of last season, our last show, our dear friend Jess, who was performing with us, got up to take her bow and went through the middle of the stage. At the beginning of this season, the end of 2020, the beginning of 21, we knew that we weren't going to be able to host our international events as we normally do. So we had the challenge of trying to find a Band-Aid to put on our stage to get us through the season where we didn't think we would make any income. So it was interesting. We did a lot of experimenting. We ended up with a thin layer of cement ply, which, if you're unfamiliar with cement ply, is a mixture of wood and cement and a little bit of rubber to create a little bit of plasticity inside of the cement ply. It was a good idea. It didn't work. So we had a lot of challenges with that. Obviously, cement cracks. We thought that the rubber inside of the cement would make it a little bit more flexible than it actually did. It wasn't. So it ended up being a little bit hazardous. Not at first, but as the months wore on, we had the cement ply on top of the stage for about 2 months. We were running shows, we were running rehearsals. We weren't running our international events, but we're still doing our best to continue the circus within the parameters of what we're capable of doing here in Goa this season. So at the beginning of the season, we weren't sure if we were going to open the circus or not. Obviously, there's a pandemic going on, and we wanted to be mindful of the situation and respectful, and we didn't want to put anybody at risk. So after weighing the benefits, we decided to open the circus, as we had a large number of artists who have been stuck here since the beginning of the pandemic, and they needed the space to create, to practice, and some way to generate income for themselves, as we've all been out of work for a long time now as circus artists here in India. We were really hoping that we could get through this season without replacing the stage, hence the Band-Aid with the cement ply and the other techniques we used to reinforce the stage that we already had. Unfortunately, when our dear friend Mark put his foot through the stage about 10 minutes before our third show of the season, we knew that it was no longer safe. And we really thought it was important. We felt like it was important to carry on, to continue to produce shows, to continue our classes and our recreational program that we started this year. And we knew that we needed a safe, strong platform for us to be able to create that art. Our location is in the jungle. We can't just put a sheet of plastic down on the sand like we did in our previous location, because we would get eaten alive by all the creatures of the jungle here, specifically the ants, which are vicious in Goa. So we knew that this was an important platform, and we made the decision that we were going to have to go for it and build a new stage. Despite the financial constrictions, we knew that it was important for the safety of our students, of our instructors, and also of our performers during the shows that we've been running here this season.
Bhakti Kutir is an eco-resort that has been in South Goa for the last 25 years. We believe in sustainability and creating a beautiful space where humans and nature can live together in harmony, and yeah, being in touch with ourselves. What's special about this wood is that it's incredibly old. It's over 100 years old, and it's basically today people don't wait for a tree to grow to full maturity before cutting it down, and when a tree does grow to full maturity, it becomes a lot stronger, a lot more powerful, it has more energy, and if you use old wood, you know that you're getting extremely good quality. What makes traditional wood more special than plywood is that plywood is basically little pieces of wood stuck together, and it's not very strong, it's not very resistant, and traditional wood is something that, you know, nature gives us, and it's like some types of wood here are amazing. They're resilient to bugs, they're resilient to heat, and even the really strong woods around here are even resistant to water. We're using concrete poles to support the stage because it's very important, especially here in Goa, that no wood touches the ground, because termites attack everything that's wooden. And if you use cement poles, you can see them if they try and climb up. Wherever if you use wood, they eat it from the inside, and you don't know your stage is rotten until it's rotten. The people who've helped us a lot in making this stage become what it is basically my father has been constructing for the last 25 to 30 years, and he has his own set of workers who've been with him the entire time. Suresh, the head carpenter, so all the wood you see here, he's made sure that it's all perfectly aligned, that it looks good, and he can name every single kind of wood just by looking at it, which is an incredibly amazing talent. So here we have some mati wood, we have bits of jackfruit, and other types of different jungle woods, which I'm not sure how you say that in English. The stonemason Namdeo has also been with us for 18 years, and he is incredibly talented in all types of stone and cement work. And he's the one who's made sure that all the poles are completely aligned and that we have a perfectly flat stage. Since we're using reclaimed wood and it comes in lots of different shapes and sizes, it's mainly because we went to a place where they process secondhand wood, and they sell it as wood scrap to be used for plywood, but they take down entire houses. So they get the good pieces and they get the bad pieces, and then what they basically do is they separate them, and they keep all the planks together, they keep all the other pieces together, and you can buy it there wholesale. And we loaded it on the truck, we weighed the truck, and we came back, and after it's sanded and polished and varnished, it looks like this. So we had to treat this stage especially well after it was built, because the wood, being over 100 years old, has lost some of its natural oils. So we made a mixture of beeswax and linseed oil, and we mixed it together after burning it, and we applied that to the wood, and after that it looked a lot more lustrous. And then to protect it even more from the heat and the rain, we've added a coat of polyurethane. Work took, I would say, around 2 to 3 weeks. I mean, we had to close the whole circus for it and delay some shows, but I think it was worth it.